Hello everyone. So my last one pro tip for every hero video blew up and got like 90k views. So logically, here's a sequel. Thank you all for the support, it's very highly appreciated. I love making this kind of content and it always makes me happy when I see people actually being able to learn a thing or two. Anyway, a friendly reminder that these are just some good unknown tips, not full-on guides on how to play every hero. So without further ado, let's get into the tips. Warden. In a team fight, you can charge your shoulder bash on one person and then target switch on the other person last second in order to surprise them. Like any other shoulder bash, you need to be aware of enemies who can interrupt you, but this is a great way to open an opponent for damage. Conqueror. In mid lane, while fighting other players, you can unlock, look at the minions, and then start zoning. Why is this good? Because your zone will be unparryable for your enemies and you'll have full block properties at the same time. Therefore, the only way of getting you out is with an unblockable, in which case you can just feint your zone and dodge or parry it. Peacekeeper. When you get a guard break as a peacekeeper in a team fight, what you want to do is a triple stab into your teammate's heavy. I don't care if there's a wall around, you don't throw him, since if you do, your teammate's heavy will get big damage reduction. The only justifiable reason will be if they are out of stamina. Lawbringer. You can long arm off a guard break by inputting heavy plus guard break plus backwards movement at the same time. This is great for guaranteeing more damage when you have a teammate around. Centurion. When you get a guard break and you have a haymaker unlocked, make sure to do 2 punches before actually wall splatting, as it's an additional 20 damage to the punish. Fun fact, with haymaker unlocked you can get to 95 damage of 1 guard break if you have a wall nearby. Gladiator. If someone backdodges your zone, unless they had their guard already on the left, the second part is guaranteed because backdodge recovery is too high in order to block in time. Raider. There are really no good unknown tips about raiders, so don't expect much. When you are killing someone in stampede charge, if you're heading for a wall but there's also an environment nearby, release the guard break earlier to throw them instead of wall splatting. Warlord. Some people may not know this, but Warlord's zone has extremely good hitboxes, especially on the side, allowing you to punish/interrupt multiple people at once in a team fight. Berserker. A really good tip for Berserker is to know his gank. In order to do it, you need to have a teammate that guard breaks for the Berserker, and as soon as Berserker sees the guard break, he zones, giving your ally enough time to do a heavy, no matter its speed. Valkyrie. Her backdash full block can make you safe from a lot of mix-ups on different characters. With the right timing, you will escape the mix-up, and any attack/recovery can be punished for 12 damage by either letting it go, or if possible, by feinting and guard break. Here are examples of ways to use her full block. Highlander. When you dodge an attack in offensive stance that can only be followed by a heavy, kick into unblockable is guaranteed. Now when you dodge an attack that has follow-ups of both heavies or light, you can just do an offensive light for 10 damage. Also, when you dodge a chain finisher, a kick is guaranteed unless it's an Orochi Berserker, since they can dodge out of the recovery. Shaman. When you hit an unlocked opponent with a heavy, either he is running away or you caught him by surprise. Doesn't matter, you can guarantee another heavy. This is one of the reasons she is good at catching people who flee from a teamfight. Kensei. In addition to being able to deflect top attacks for a guaranteed guard break, Kensei can also side dash to deflect some heavies for a guaranteed guard break. This works with most neutral side heavies. However, zones and heavies with the fastest recovery will typically be immune to this. Shugoki. While being in Veg mode, you can only charge people to knock them down just like in Season 1. Cool stuff, right? If you only charge them in the open, you only get a zone or a running attack. But if you do it with a wall, you can either get a heavy from the knockdown, or you can get a hug, but you pretty much need to be in a corner for a perfect setup. Orochi. Of a deflect, I'd recommend to never do the heavy version and always go for the guaranteed light. Why you shouldn't do it? Because it's never guaranteed except some really high recovery chain finishers. For example, Highlander heavies. You might think you're gonna mix it up with card breaks, but that takes a lot more stamina for the same damage, which is 45. The only time you'd want to mix it with a guard break is if there's a ledge nearby. Nobushi. When you have your tier 4 fire trap unlocked in 44, you can place it strategically in the minions. When an enemy triggers a trap, you'll immediately get a lot of healing from the minions because you have body count unlocked, and also help keep mid in favor of your team. Note that you don't have to be nearby to take advantage of healing from the trap. Shinobi. While performing multiple dodges and you see that your opponent is trying to interrupt you with an attack, you can dodge in that direction when it comes out in order to deflect it for 50 damage. Aramusha. Of a successful blockade, you can somehow unlock your side heavy unblockable in order to make it unparryable, similar to old unlock deck. This won't make the unblockable guaranteed, but will leave the enemy with one less option, which is parrying. Tiandi. Whenever someone tries to punish you in your recovery with an attack, remember that you can always just dodge out of the recovery and superior light into palm strike for guaranteed damage. Jangjun. In 1vx situations or team fights, you want to position in order to always have someone on your right or left, since the hitbox on your zone is really good, and the zone will come out much faster to them than the actually intended 600 millisecond speed. Luxio. The infection feed doesn't just work on players, but it also does with minions. This means you can pretty much go into a mid fight and kill all the enemy minions by just placing the feed on the right person. Combine this with Thread of Fate and they can get out of the minions lane. Shaolin. He has a unique gank. It is not the best, but it's definitely interesting and can help you out in killing your opponent faster. The setup is, have your teammate guard breaking the opponent, you follow up with triple eye combo, but you have to make sure they are all very delayed. After that, your friend can throw his max damage heavy, the attack being guaranteed due to the Shaolin light hit stun. Vortiger. So we actually have a Vortiger tip. Not because I have early access, but because Freeze was kind enough to help me out with a video. Cheers, Freeze! Also, Ubi, why don't I have early access? Like, what the fuck? Let's take it to the end, my dude. Let's talk about it. I could be a great tester and all that stuff. Back to the Vortiger tip. During the early access test, if you land a light on an out of stamina opponent, follow-up bash is guaranteed. This forces the opponent to parry out of stamina, which is very risky, and with heavy feints on a good read, it can be punished harshly. I repeat, this is during the early access. I'm not sure if it's bound to change or not, although I do hope it is gonna change. Well, that's about it. Huge thanks to Freeze for helping me out with the Vortiger tip. I really appreciate it, man. Also, remember to like if you're a Star Boy, subscribe if you're a Star Boy, and do all the other YouTube stuff if you are a Star Boy. Take care, my dudes.